A courtroom is the one place on earth where entitled behavior doesn't just fail, it backfires spectacularly. These Karens walked in thinking they ran the show. They walked out in handcuffs. Our first case is one of the most viral courtroom moments of all time. In 2013, 18-year-old Penelope Soto, charged with drug possession, specifically Xanax bars, just needed to get through her bond court hearing without any shenanigans. Simple enough, right? At the hearing, Soto smiled and stroked her hair and laughed. When the judge, Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Jorge Rodriguez Chomat, asked her about her jewelry and other assets, she's literally giggling while a judge is deciding her fate. Already, the disrespect is off the charts. The judge set her bond at $5,000. That's actually pretty reasonable. As she walked off, she told the Cuban-born judge adios. He responded by calling her back and doubling her bond amount, now $10,000. And this is where things go completely nuclear. Soto responded by saying "F you" and gave him the middle finger. He sentenced her to 30 days in the county jail for criminal contempt of court. 30 days for a middle finger. Let that sink in. Soto's flipping the bird at the judge landed her a 30-day jail sentence for contempt of court, and it drew national headlines as a video of it went viral online. We're talking millions and millions of views. She became the face of courtroom entitlement overnight. But credit where credit is due. This story actually has a redemption arc. 4 days later, 18-year-old Soto was solemn as she acknowledged to the judge that she was wrong. Her lawyer and relatives stood next to her as she apologized. She told the judge her behavior was very irrational. Responding to her apology, the judge dropped the 30-day contempt sentence, citing reasons that included her being a first-time offender, her admission that she had abused Xanax, and her willingness to attend a drug treatment program. And get this, state prosecutors eventually dismissed the drug charges entirely. Soto appeared before a drug court judge who said she had successfully completed the drug court program. The judge even congratulated her and her mother, and they got applause from the courtroom. So the lesson here, don't flip off a judge. But if you do, at least have the humility to apologize and actually turn your life around. Our next case involves a phrase so legendary that it has entered the courtroom Hall of Fame. A Western Michigan restaurant owner was arrested before dawn and hauled to jail in a dramatic turn. Marlena Pavlos Hackney, 55 years old, was told she would remain in jail until she paid $7,500 and authorities confirmed her restaurant was closed. State investigators said Pavlos Hackney had allowed indoor dining when it was banned, wasn't enforcing mask rules, and was ignoring capacity limits. Her food license was suspended, but the business remained open. Multiple court orders, all ignored. So now she's standing in front of Ingham County Judge Rosemary Aquilina, and she has her so-called legal representative with her, a man who acknowledged he's not a licensed lawyer, and he was arrested for contempt after the judge said it was improper for him to file documents. So her fake lawyer just got hauled away in handcuffs. Great start. The judge then asked Pavlos Hackney if she would pledge to tell the truth. Pavlos Hackney didn't reply, and that's when Judge Aquilina delivered one of the greatest lines in courtroom history. "I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions. I need that framed. I need that on a t-shirt. I need that tattooed." The judge told her, "You have selfishly not followed the orders. This is the wrong way to get publicity. It's the wrong way to be a good citizen." After all was said and done, Pavlos Hackney was fined $15,000 and spent several nights in prison. The entitlement, the fake lawyer, the silent treatment to a judge. Every single decision was wrong, and the judge made sure she knew it. Okay, this one. This one is truly special. Not everyone takes a bad day to court to sue for $10,000 citing emotional distress. But that's exactly what Quashante Short did. In 2022, she attended a virtual session with a judge against Richard Jordan. Short claimed Jordan stood her up on a date in 2020 that also fell on her late mother's birthday. Short, who appeared to be attending the hearing at an airport, got into a yelling match with the judge as she attempted to teach him about the crime of perjury. She sued a man for $10,000 because he didn't show up to a date, and then she tried to lecture the judge from an airport about the law. You can't make this up. The sheer audacity, the confidence, the complete and total lack of self-awareness. This is peak Karen energy. She genuinely believed the legal system existed to avenge her bad Tinder date. The judge was not having it. Sometimes a judge will give you every opportunity to walk away, every single off-ramp, Every chance to just shut your mouth and save yourself. And some people still choose chaos. As the judge tried to move to the next case, a man named Noval decided this was the perfect time to insult the judge. The judge ordered him back, and Noval idiotically repeated what he said. Multiple times, the judge tried to give him an out, but each time, he ruined it. By the end, Noval was sentenced to 120 days for contempt. 120 days. 4 months behind bars, because he couldn't just walk away. The judge literally kept giving him chances, like a video game with infinite respawns, and this man kept choosing to die. And since we're on the topic of people who couldn't stop digging their own graves, in 2018, Franklin Williams was in an Ohio court to hear his sentence, on charges of robbery, kidnapping, and several others. Instead of being quiet and hoping good behavior would score him a lenient term, he did the opposite. Williams wouldn't stop talking. He constantly spoke over others in the courtroom, making it a nightmare for court reporters. Time and time again, the judge asked him to stop talking and threatened him with being gagged. Still, Williams continued chatting. Eventually, the judge followed through on his threat. That's right, they gagged him in open court, like an actual physical gag, because this man treated his sentencing hearing like a podcast and would not stop recording. The judge literally said multiple times, "Stop talking or I will gag you." And Williams apparently thought it was a bluff. It was not a bluff. This is what happens when you confuse a courtroom for a stage. The judge is the director, and he just cut your mic permanently. No video about Karens in court would be complete without talking about sovereign citizens. For those who don't know, sovereign citizens are people who believe they've found a legal cheat code, that if they say the right combination of magic words, the law simply doesn't apply to them. They claim they're not the person on the court documents. They say they don't consent to the court's jurisdiction. They try to surrender the person, whatever that means. Some of them even try to fine the judge. One sovereign citizen refused to accept the judge's ruling and bizarrely tried to fine the judge. $1,200 per minute. $1,200 per minute. To the judge, in the judge's own courtroom. The delusion is honestly breathtaking, and this isn't a one-off. Sovereign citizens learn the hard way that courtroom rules aren't optional. They walk in quoting maritime law and walk out in handcuffs, every single time. The record for sovereign citizens winning in court is a perfect 0. Undefeated. In losses, they'll say things like, "I am not the person, I am the living man." And the judge will say, "Great, the living man is going to living jail." It never works. It has never worked. It will never work. Here's the thing about all of these cases. A courtroom is one of the last places in society where actions have immediate, undeniable consequences. You can scream at a retail worker and maybe get a gift card out of it. You can berate a waiter and walk out without paying. But when you disrespect a judge, that judge has a magic word of their own: contempt. And contempt doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your Google Law degree. It doesn't care if you think you're a sovereign citizen, a living man, or the reincarnation of Clarence Darrow. Contempt means you're going to jail. Right now, today, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Every single person in this video had the same opportunity to stand quietly, show basic respect, and move on with their lives. And every single one of them chose to turn a routine hearing into the worst day of their lives. The courtroom is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how entitled you are outside those doors. The second you walk in, there's only one person in charge, and they're wearing a robe and holding a gavel. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more courtroom chaos. Drop a comment and let me know. Which case was your favorite? Which Karen had the biggest meltdown? And have you ever witnessed a Karen moment in real life? I'll see you in the next one. Stay out of trouble. And whatever you do, do not flip off the judge.